people on YouTube, hopefully, we've got you now. Why was it playing?
Because it was on the wrong direction.
Oh.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Right, so back.
So you've all started putting your questions on, which is great and also slightly terrifying. So while we're just checking to see, make sure YouTube is working, because you don't know whether it is or not. It's not working, John.
Is it not? So that's the second one. There should be a new.
It says there is a viewer on YouTube, so hopefully if YouTube's working. So yeah, like I said, pop your questions in. We'll see how we go. To give you just a really quick bit of background information, we've both been reading tarot for a fair amount of time. I use my good old trusty deck when I've got a deck of cards that I use as well as Oracle, which are based on the trees. I have probably been reading for about 50, too long that I want to say on on screen, but a while. I love tarot. Tarot is my go-to form of divination. As much as I love runes and maybe crystals and herbs and things like that as ways to divine, I do like tarot. And I also like wax readings as well. I'm a big wax reading fan. So I think we've now got YouTube sorted, so we'll have a start with the questions. For those of you that were... Are you done? And breathe. So hello to YouTube as well. We're sorry about the technical issue, difficulty thingy. What's it? So for the people on YouTube, so are both here? Okay. For people on YouTube, hello. We've just been explaining to the guys over on Facebook of how tonight's going to work. We're basically going to do short readings just to help give a bit of guidance around the spring equinox. So because they're short readings as well, what we want to try and do is look at something that we can give some guidance on between now and Beltane, which is the start of May. So ideally, we don't want to be jumping like 6 months to a year in head or what have you. So pop your questions on. We'll try and jump between the two as best we can, and we'll work through as many as we can as well. By all means, you can ask multiple questions, not in the same question would be great. So if you want like different things on there, but just bear in mind we're going to try and get through as many different people as we can. So don't spam the chat with all your own questions because, well, just don't. We'll set the cat on you. See how unbothered she is. She's just chilled today. So yeah, we'll make a start with Facebook if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start working down chronologically. I don't know whether the things are going to jump, so we'll just see what happens. So the first one that's come up is from Helen. Helen Sullivan, at a fork, need some guidance, please. I'm going to go for tarot just because it's what I've got in my hand first. Yeah.
So while Chris is shuffling, Chris has explained that he's been doing tarot for a fair few years. I've been doing it less than what he has. I know it sounds very covert, but it's one of them things where I will predominantly use tarot. Oracle is a nice add-on, so if you ever have readings with Chris or I, you may get a choice of both. So we'll normally read with tarot, and then if we need any clarification or if we feel inclined or our intuition used correctly springs in, then we'll pull an oracle from one of our many decks. So Chris is using his and I'm using mine. Mine was gifted to me by my mum at the age of 13, and I've never really found a deck that I've been able to connect with as well. So yeah, you'll see them throughout the evening. And it's just started raining, so
really badly.
Really badly.
Yeah, so Helen Sullivan. So we've got 3 cards for you. So what I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to show you the cards and tell you what they are. So your 3 cards are the Magician, the 8 of Swords, and the 4 of Cups. Just on here. Oh, that way. So one of the things I need to say to you first is you need to stop doubting the path that you think you're going down. You're more than capable of tackling anything that comes your way, but I don't want you to pick the easy option. Otherwise, the experience that you could get from choosing the maybe slightly more scenic route that you could potentially go down is going to be like invaluable going forward. So don't be. Oh my god. Don't be afraid of a little bit of hard work, which I know you're not. You're more than capable of dealing with it. And you need to make sure that your heart is in it before you start something, because I don't want you to get 3/4 of the way through and just kind of go, actually, it wasn't really for me in the first place. It's not something that's really sitting in your heart center. And specifically, like between the 4th and the 8th of April is when you need to start making a bit more of a decision on where this fork is going to go, because it doesn't. You say it's a fork, but it actually feels like it's a 3-pronged thing. Whatever that is, a trident. You know, a trident path. Anyway, it feels like there were 3 paths, and if I feel like I have to give you a bit of guidance on one more than the other, then I like the middle option a bit more, but it's probably not the easiest route. So,
awesome.
Are you jumping on, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, no, you go for it.
Okay. Emma Waters, tarot, just tarot. Emma. Oh, so one thing we probably should have said at the start, I'm not a fan of this. Oh, I say it as it is. It's rude. There's a way you can say things and still be direct. So we won't necessarily fluff things up, but we'll still put it across in a way that is clear and concise and not rude. So Emma Waters, bit of, you've just put T, so just tarot. So you've got the 3 of Pentacles, along with the 3 of Wands, going with the 3s here, and then the Sun. So from the little bit that we've exchanged before on email, I want to make sure all of your plans are in place before we hit the summer, because summer's going to be a really busy but exciting time. It feels like there's a lot of new starts, a lot of new beginnings, but not necessarily starting from seed. It feels like you're going to the garden centre and buying a plant that's already started. So it's just kind of nurturing and trying to make sure it's growing in the direction and the way that you want it to go. And I need to say with that make sure that what you're putting your energy into over the next 3 to 6 months in particular is something that you choose to put your energy into, and not something that someone's telling you to put your energy into, because I don't feel like it's going to get to where it could potentially go. If you make sure it's something that is your focus and something that is close to your heart with the way you feel about the way you're doing things, be prepared for it to get busier than you think it's going to be. Are you going to jump on?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so here goes. I'm, as some of you may be aware, I don't. Confidence can be an issue. I may not show it when you see me in person, but inside I am
Terrifying.
bleeding.
Psychically stuck.
So on YouTube, we've had a question from Morningstar. I'm just going to go with tarot. If someone wants oracle, then obviously let us know. But again, I'll do the same 3 cards. So they would like to know if they are on the right track. Okay, so for Morningstar, you have the 9 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. So for me, looking at this, they're on the right path. I would be inclined to ask how many paths you've actually got. From what I'm getting, I would say that there are a few that you may be kind of putting the feelers out for, seeing what one may stick or what one may be a bit more fruitful for you. Though look at everything fully before you actually commit. I want to say there's two. There's one that you want to feel like you're being on, but there is another one that is kind of lurking in the back and you're not quite sure of. The one that you're not quite sure of is possibly the one that's going to be more fruitful. The Knight of Pentacles to me is representative of a masculine energy. Pentacles is the earth, but it's also in relations to monetary value. So for me, I think the one that you're unsure of would likely be the one that is going to be more prosperous for you. Not necessarily in money, but I think it's the one that you're going to feel more comfortable in. If that resonates with you, I wish you the best on your path.
Very formal, I love that. Yeah, I wish you the best.
I'm done. Going home now.
You're going home? Okay, so I'm going to do two on Facebook. Julie Jones and Julie Crocker. So we've got the Julies. I was going to do...
Yeah, I was just about to do that as well.
So Julie Jones would love a... I thought that said massage, so it says message. I'd love a message. Direction, please, with tarot, if possible. So first three cards are for Julie Jones. Let's have a look on here. So you have Seven of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. So one thing that's jumping out straight away is there's no reason why you can't have more than one string to your bow at all. And some people will kind of say, use the phrase, which I'm not massively keen on, the jack of all trades, and there's any negative in having multiple lines of experience or multiple avenues or multiple tools that you can call upon for what it is that you're doing, but don't get sidetracked. Don't feel like you keep, don't keep getting drawn off onto different pathways to then come back, because those pathways ultimately are kind of not really doing anything other than distracting you. So I guess my guidance on it would be reevaluate what actually means the most to you and what you get the most joy from, or what you get the most fun from. That's kind of the most fulfilling. Fulfillment is what I was looking for. Fun fulfillment. And then don't be afraid of letting go of the things that maybe aren't serving you the same purpose. There's no reason why things have got to all, well, nothing can always be the same all the time. And if something has dipped, let it go. Let the things that are more prominent and more obviously there at the forefront in your life be there. And if you need to change stuff around every now and again, there's no reason why you can't. What are you laughing at?
Wire Patrol with the cats.
Oh, Wire Patrol. So that was for Julie Jones, and then Julie Crocker. Am I on the right path, or do I need to change something, whatever you were drawn to? I'm going to stick with tarot again, just because I like tarot. So we have for you the King of Cups, who interestingly is Poseidon, and my Poseidon's quite hot, I'm not going to lie. We've then got the Three of Swords, and we've then got the Six of Cups. So am I on the right path, or do I need to change something? Something absolutely needs to change, but what that thing is, I don't know if you can necessarily put your finger on it right now, but there is a cog in the system that isn't quite clicking over, that isn't quite reading properly, and I think it's making things harder than it needs to be. So for me, it would be a bit like Julie Jones. I would be reevaluating where I am and trying to have a kind of re-establishing what's working for me, not necessarily now, but what I think is going to be working for me in the future, because I think some of the cogs that were working are now no longer relevant. Like the shape has changed or the size has changed, and it's not working as a well-oiled machine. So are you on the right path? Yes, but I do feel like not necessarily needs changing, but needs tweaking. Something needs tweaking, and I'm very handsy today. I don't quite know what's going on with my hands. I think something needs just to be changed up so that it's fine-tuned something. Don't be afraid to let things go if they're just not working, but replace those with things that are sort of leading towards the collaborative, bigger picture. Yeah, absolutely. So,
on YouTube, totally went mind blank. If you want a reading, just drop a message. And I hope I'm saying this right. Nincompoop. if you would like a 3-card reading, pop your question in the chat, and we'll pick that up and go from there. So there's another one on Facebook, YouTube from Jay Toulouse.
John Sebastian.
Is it? I thought it was.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say. Need some guidance on my career path. While I'm shuffling, just so you guys are aware, we do have a guest with us tonight. So if you see us looking over to that direction, I don't know what it's going to be like on your screen, because one's pointing that way and the other one's pointing that way. We have a guest with us.
It sounds really ominous.
Yeah, she's
spirit
a
guest.
lovely friend of ours, who's also a tarot reader. So she's here, so
moderating
for
and
us.
keeping an eye on the cats.
Yes. So that's if you notice why we always look in.
Oh, it's jumped
to the left and that. So Jay Toulouse, career path. So I have Judgment. I then have the 8 of Cups, and then I have Death. So just as a side note, death doesn't mean death. Death 8 times out of 10 normally means the ending of something and the beginning of something else. So you're stopping that one path and you're kind of moving over into the next one. So in relation to the guidance on your career path, I want to say
move to Glastonbury and do massage.
Not quite. I kind of feel like it's a question you've been asking yourself for a little while now. I do know a little bit about your journey because you're with us on the academy. For me, I think the cards together is something that is kind of signaling to me that other options may be becoming more available, and it may be a good time to start looking at that. But the 8 of Cups especially, the cups, a lot of people will signify with water, which is an emotion, emotional cards. My 8 of Cups is there's a hooded person walking through an archway of cups and the water's running away. I wouldn't say, you can't see it, can you? It's a silly light. I wouldn't say it's something to take lightly, but I think the direction you're heading in, or the decision you're making, is going to be more fruitful. As we're dealing with in tarot, I would be looking towards the Fool card. So that taking the walk off the ledge. If you want to see what it's like, see if you can put the feelers out before making that final decision. But I would say that it's something that is well on its way to being changed for you. I hope that resonates. And
move to Glastonbury and become a therapist. So I'm really sorry that people on Facebook, it has jumped massively and I've lost loads of questions. So anything above where Al Bannatyne has put Asgardians Ahoy and above is gone. I can't see anything. I did see a question from someone called where is it gone? Oh, there it is. Scott Leverett, tell my future. No, Scott. Being my brother. Thinks he's funny. Or actually, yes, stay in bed and get better.
Yeah, stop climbing on scaffolding.
Yeah. So I'm going to... Oh, and Al said we had a scammer in the video. Someone was saying, I've got a spirit reading. Message me your friend request or something. So I will fire off a couple quickly on Facebook because there's loads of comments. I can't get all the comments. Kim Wither was Wiggins. I will pull a couple of cards for you, my love. Hope you're keeping safe and well. Haven't spoken to you since the last live, but before that was a very long time ago. Bit of guidance for Kim. So, Ace of Swords. I'm going to psychically slap you as well. Knight of Swords. I'm definitely going to psychically slap you. And the Magician. So, procrastination is probably not the right word, but you need to pull your finger out and get stuff done because you've got so much potential. It's just, I think you're going to get to a point where you're going to go, oh, I feel like I've wasted so much time doing little bits without actually committing and doing stuff. I think if people got the chance to actually see your abilities and see what you do, especially spiritually as well, people will just be drawn to you. And I think the amount of people that you can touch, the amount of people that you could help and connect with, because of what you've been through in the past and things that you've turned around and things that you've changed, I think people need to hear that story. But you literally need to commit to it and go for it, because it's, if we added up the amount of time you've spent floating, and I mean floating in kind of like the not committing or making a decision type thing, maybe because it's been, life has taken over and you've had other stuff to do, but there's so much potential there for you. And even still, no matter where you think you are in life or how long the path you think you are, there is still so much potential. So pull your finger out and get a move on, please. I said please, it's okay.
So there's a comment mode where it says default.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that...
I clicked that and then I don't know what it was doing. Yeah, so I'm just gonna...
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah. Oh, I think it's just jumped again. Oh, it's totally jumped again. I don't know if this was the greatest idea doing it this way. Mary Kemp, I'm now down with you because I don't know how much it is that I've lost. I know what... Hey, Freya.
I guess if we don't get to your reading on Facebook, guys, what we'll do is we'll get all the comments in, so we can always go back and just drop you a quick message with the 3 cards and a little bit of a reading, just in case we don't get to you.
Yeah. If you don't get read, feel free to drop a message via the website, so we've got your card. Got your card?
So we've got your details, so we can give you a message back.
So Mary Kemp, your 3 cards are the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the 3 of Wands. You need to trust how you're feeling more. Trust your intuition with things. Don't be afraid of changing things up and stepping outside your comfort zone, but also just knowing where your intuition comes from. Just because you're feeling something, that the way you're feeling doesn't mean it is 100% right. It just means that you're feeling something at that time. So don't be afraid to question things. Don't be afraid to change things up, and don't be afraid to step outside those boxes or those boundaries that you've put yourself into because you think that you can't, or you don't want to, or you're afraid, or whatever those reasons may be. You haven't got to jump outside the box, just step over the line, and you'll be surprised at how really small changes can then start to ripple out into other things around you, and how easy things will change after that.
So on YouTube, I have Amethyst Moon. I would love a tarot reading. If you want to drop us a message, Amethyst, we can.
No, I think they're saying they want to read tarot cards. They want a general tarot card.
Okay. Oh, right, awesome. Apologies, let's get that going. No worries, Morningstar and Jay Toulouse. So Amethyst, we have got Knight of Cups. I'm going to have a little bit of a mix round on this one, I feel like. 2 of Cups and Justice. So I'll try and see what YouTube's normally pretty okay with that. So they are the 3 cards there. So Amethyst Moon. So I'm kind of feeling like that you're kind of internalizing something that's gone on, and you don't know whether you should be making that connection sooner or later in regards to this other person coming forward on their own. Cutting nose to spite face kind of sounds mean, but it's the words that's literally just come into my head. I don't... I think picking sides may be a little bit difficult to do, because I feel like that this thing, there's fault on both sides, plus there is something else that's niggling away. It feels like there's something or someone else that is kind of in the lower section as well. I guess the only thing I would really say is being honest with yourself will help you get a long way with this, whether that means admitting defeat. Remember what is being said now, because it may be coming up quite soon, kind of as a what's the word when you go back to, kind of like a mental marker. Have this as a mental marker for it. Hope that resonates.
You look so worried.
I always do.
So jumping back to Facebook, I've got Anna Rosa with a tarot card message. I'm not going to throw you anything. I'm going to pull you a tarot card. I'm going to pull you a card with a oracle card as well. So you have the Chariot, which in my deck is Freya, who's also on the couch next to me. And your oracle card is the Willow, which came out earlier on. So with the Chariot, I want to make sure everything is in balance around you, and one thing isn't taking over the other, or one thing isn't taking up more of your attention or your focus more than it needs to. But I also want to make sure that you are feeling comfortable with the things that are going on around you as well, because it feels like there are situations and events and unnecessary things arising that you're kind of being pulled into, and it doesn't require you to either be part of that or to waste your energy trying to deal with that, because it isn't for you to sort. So make sure you're keeping your boundaries with people, and if things don't seem right, or the reason for why things are happening don't seem to resonate, don't be afraid to step back from that. But for me, with the Chariot, I just want to make sure everything is as balanced and even as it can be, so you're splitting your time equally amongst the things that need it, and one thing isn't taking up 100% of your attention so that other things get left. Do you need another?
Yep. So not a problem. Amethyst Moon, Spirit of Avalon, hello. I would love a general tarot reading for this Ostara season, please.
I think the cards are saying you need a Glastonbury visit.
I'm sure one's on the cards. Pun not intended.
That was such a dad joke.
Well, it's getting to that point of my life now where I can say that yes.
You have fair babies.
Yeah. So, general tarot reading for Ostara. So we have Page of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and Four of Cups. So, general for Ostara. Stay strong. It is probably a turbulent time at the moment, but there is a few things that are few things that you're working towards, which I think are going to be helping you out of the darker part of the year. The Page of Pentacles, pages are normally young female influences. I think having that kind of young feeling or that young energy around you may help you during this this time of the year. Looking forwards towards Beltane, you're going to come out of the other side a hell of a lot better than what you think you are. So stay strong, keep going forwards. Emotions in check, but don't feel ashamed to show them, because everyone will appreciate it more. There's no point in being strong for everyone. if they're not able to then do the same for you.
Told. Snap.
If that resonates. That's my new thing. That's my thing
if
now.
That resonates.
If that resonates.
So the comments are racking up on Facebook, so I'm going to fire off just a couple of readings on there quickly. So Steph Bainon, sorry if I pronounced that right. Bainon? Anyway. Reading if possible. So your cards are the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles,
Lady Sarah's.
And the Empress. So I don't want you to settle for mediocrity. Is that even the word? Mediocrity? Yeah, mediocrity. When you think you've done what you can, do that little bit more, because you're more than capable of doing that. And I want to make sure that when that's happening with things, you are getting the recognition and you are getting the, insert word here, congratulationness.
Congratulatory.
Yes, congratulatory experience from that as well, and not necessarily from like an external source. I want to make sure you're acknowledging what it is that you've done, but I think you can do that bit more than you are currently doing each time, and you'll be surprised at how easy you find that. And then you're kind of like, oh, look at me, I finished that and I did a little bit more as well. It's almost just, it's not for anybody else but for you. But I just think that I don't feel like 100% is ever going to be enough for you. You're always going to want that little bit more, and there is nothing wrong with that at all, because you are more than capable of doing it. But I don't want you to also push past like 110%, because it's also then a bit wasted. Do that little bit more and then be happy with that. Are you up for jumping another one?
Yeah, go for it.
Daniel Robert, happy to receive whatever may come my way. So we will do a part tarot, part oracle. So I'm going to pick you 2 tarot cards. So you've got Justice and the Two of Wands. So there is a rebalancing that needs to happen in the next couple of weeks, with something that I would describe as being legal or formal that needs to happen as well. So it could be signing something or confirming something, or finalising the details with something that is, I guess formal would be a right word. So there's something that needs to be like scripted or signed for, but make sure that like the finer details are checked through beforehand, because it feels like there's something that you're going to have to almost not give up, but in that written thing or that thing that's being decided on, what is the word? Not compensate. You're going to have to, what is the word? When you have to give and take.
Give and take?
No, it's a word.
Compromise.
Compromise. You're going to have to compromise on something. It isn't the end of the world, but you need to know that you're doing it before you commit to it, if that makes sense. And oracle-wise, you have the holly tree, so make sure that when things are happening, that you are in control of it. So you are not necessarily dictating, but you have control and watch over the things that you are capable of having that control over. Rather than trying to control everything, just make sure you know where your stuff is at this time, and that you're, like the phrase, crossing the I's, crossing the T's and dotting that one, it is very prominent with those cards as well.
Awesome. That's not a problem, Sandra. And then we have
loads of career stuff, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh. So this is for Nincompoop. I've just had the 6 of Pentacles come out. I won't put that in your 3, but we'll include that in as well. Queen of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and Page of Swords. So, career advice. Keep doing what you're doing. I think you feel like you're underappreciated, but I don't see that as being an issue. Would it be right in saying that you may have 1 or 2 things up your sleeve that you're putting the feelers out on to see whether they will take, as well as what you are already doing at the moment? Chances are yes. Just make sure everything is planned out in advance. Again, I'm getting dot your I's, cross your T's. is someone looking at collabing or coming on board with you on something?
Collabing. It's very Insta, isn't it?
Collabing. Yeah, dot your I's, cross your T's, make sure that everything is laid out before you make any final decisions on anything. And the Six of Pentacles, be humble, I would say. I kind of get the feeling you already are, but just that kind of reiteration on it. Yeah, I hope that resonates.
So going back over to Facebook, Kieran is moving to the Peak District, a wise move. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need tarot cards for that.
So are we talking like between now and Beltane? I'm going to assume that's the question. Let's have a quick look. So you've got the Four of Cups, the Hermit. It's going where I thought it was going to go, and the King of Cups. So my question is, I'm not answering a question. My answer is yes, but I don't think now is the right time. Do I think it's on the cards and do I think it's a good move? Yes, but it doesn't feel like now, like if you would say I'm going to up and go tomorrow, I don't think it's quite right yet. It feels more of like an autumnal thing, so maybe towards like September, October time. Yeah, I don't think the move's going to be what you think it's going to be, but it turns out it's a really good move. I just think your expectation of it, or the way you've got it kind of predetermined in your head, it doesn't turn out like that at all. So just be open to how things kind of unfold and how the pathway sort of lays itself before you, because I absolutely don't think it's a bad thing at all. If it's something you're choosing to do rather than somebody saying to you, you have to do, because I want it to be something you've sat with and it feels right for you. But yeah, like amazing move. Just yeah, probably later on in the year for me.
Are you doing any more on Facebook?
Yeah.
While you can.
Scott Leverett, yeah, it's definitely telling you stay in bed and get better. Anita Harper, please may I ask for cards guidance are in my health challenges if possible, please. I know loads of people will look at health and go, no, we're not reading on that. It doesn't really matter about what you ask about health. Yeah, I know if you, not that I'm suggesting people pay for readings on TV channels or things like that, but they will say to you, you can't do a lot of readings. There's a lot of things you can't say. So health-wise, I think I know where this is going as well. You've got the Five of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and Temperance. So what I want to say to you is when you feel like something isn't wrong and you know your body, you know how you feel, don't necessarily take the first diagnosis or the first thing that somebody tells you as gospel. And also when someone says it is X, Y, and Z, don't run with that. Do your own research into things, because I think a lot of the things that you're being told, you're giving people your symptoms and they're coming up with this condition straight away, but it feels like there are lots of different things from lots of things that are going on rather than it being one thing. So for example, someone having fibromyalgia, there are so many different symptoms that actually, is it definitely fibromyalgia, or are there three different things going on that also happen to be the symptoms of fibromyalgia? So I do feel like the things you've been told in the past aren't necessarily quite right, and I want to do a bit of digging into that to find out if there's anything else it could potentially be. But it feels like the main thing that's going on at the moment isn't necessarily the most pressing, because it's being caused by other things that are going on within the body, and it just feels like everything needs kind of like a restructure and a retweak. If you haven't done so already, I would go to someone who is like a naturopathic doctor that can do tests that potentially traditional doctors wouldn't do. And that's not me saying don't go back to your GP, absolutely stay under any medical guidance that you are currently having, but I would also get an opinion from someone who thinks slightly differently, because you'll be surprised at what they come up with, and then the answer that you need in order to help sort it is somewhere in between those two.
Awesome. Nincompoop, yeah. I actually use the terminology collabing all the time.
I love it. It's good. Collabing.
Psychic there. So we have Amanda G. Could I please have a tarot reading for general guidance at this time? Thank you. So, general reading.
Helen Sullivan, do you two need moderating? All the time, Helen, all the time.
Doing a really bad job.
Verity, to say how amazing it is you can tell that to people. So it wouldn't be us otherwise. Thank you very much, Verity.
Okay, so Amanda G. Little disclaimer: I don't like one of my cards because it gives me not very nice vibes, and it's this chap here, King of Wands. I don't like him. I know I've got him, so I'm just going to put him down. The other two I've got are
It's a really creepy face.
Yeah, the Knight of Cups and Death. Again, as before, death doesn't necessarily mean that there is going to be a physical death. It's normally the ending of something and the beginning of something new. So, with the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups and Death, I'm kind of feeling I'm not feeling 100% comfortable. Would I be right in saying that it's not the best time for you at the moment? I want to possibly say yes. On the other hand, I want to say that it's not going to be something that's going to be long-lived. It's going to be quite short before it turns around. Hold on tight, ride the waves for as long as you can, but don't forget there's at least, I want to say there's one or two people that you can really connect with and kind of offload on without going, I really need to speak to you, and then someone says, how are you doing? And then they offload on you. There's one or two people that you're able to actually communicate with and be in that position where they will hear, advise and respect the space that they're providing for you to help you through this transition at the moment. But yeah, don't get too hung up on it. It will work itself out. It will work itself out, and it will be all right. Hang on in there.
If that resonates.
I hope that resonates.
It wouldn't let me send you a picture. I don't know why. So jumping back to Facebook, Hannah Louise Kemp, general guidance please with tarot. Or as the Muggle folks say, tarot. We're going with the tarot today. Oh my god. Ten of Pentacles for you. Then the Star, one of my favourite cards in the deck. My Star card is Kuan Yin. Legendary card, I love her. And the Ten of Swords. So.
Ten of Swords?
Ten of Swords.
We've had that all night.
We were having a discussion about the Ten of Swords earlier. So Ten of Pentacles, the Star, and the Ten of Swords. So it does very much feel like things are like peaking and troughing, up and down, and there's no middle ground. You need to make that middle ground, and you need to make sure that you're disconnecting from people around you who are not particularly positive, and making sure that the people around you are on a really balanced connection, so that you get things from them and they get things from you. Otherwise it's just not fair, it's not balanced. And it doesn't mean that you can't offload onto people, but those people should also feel like they can offload onto you as and when the time is necessary, or when the time comes. But at the moment it very much feels like the past year, I think, it's just been up, down, up, down, up, down, and it's just more than anything I find it quite exhausting for you. Yeah, I find it exhausting for you. Unfortunately, you're not the sort of person who is going to have things handed to them, so you are going to have to craft your own future. So now take the time to kind of see what it is that you want from life and where it is you want to go, and start putting things in place for that, because it's never going to fall into your lap. Sorry to say, but it doesn't mean you won't achieve it. It's just going to require you to work through it. And what we want to do is the peaks and throwing cards around.
Yeah, I'm not good enough for that one.
Sorry, it's my shiny head on the camera. with the peaks and troughs, you're currently up here and then down here, and what we want to do is, you're never going to stop that, but what we could do is make it do this instead. So we're just going, the peaks and troughs become a lot closer together rather than being so...
Calm it rather than...
Yeah, be a lot calmer. Yeah.
Do you want to do another Facebook while you've got the chance?
Ingrid Anderson, path reading, please. Six of Cups. Oh, you don't do things easily, do you? Five of Swords, you definitely don't do things easily, or by halves. And then the Nine of Pentacles. So, I think one of the readings earlier on was about making sure that we're taking like the harder path so that we're getting the full experience and things that we can then put into practice in the future. I kind of want to say to the opposite, don't be a martyr and don't always do things that are to a detriment to yourself, because if you're not in that space where you're going to be able to look after you, the people around you are also not going to benefit from that as well. So by putting you first, the people around you will also inadvertently benefit from that at the same time. But doing things easy isn't necessarily taking a shortcut. Sometimes things just need to be quick, short, sharp, finish, done. Don't drag things out for more than you feel like they need to be, and don't feel like you have to like read everything to the nth degree to make sure we've got all of that information, because the book that you're reading might just need you to skim through it, if that makes sense. So don't feel like everything's got to go to the depths of the ocean. Some things might just be surface level, and just take those for what they are. Don't read into it. Don't try and do anything else with them. In, done, gone, next thing.
Awesome. So where were we? Amethyst Moon, done. Amanda G. Thank you. Not a problem, Amanda. Next we have Lady Sarah. Any insights for tomorrow evening, please?
Like, it's very specific.
Yes. No pressure, Lady S. So we have got Three of Pentacles, King of Cups, Four of Wands. Any insights for tomorrow evening? Yes.
Yes, end of reading.
Thank you. Goodbye. Yeah. Really good. Quite a jubilant. Jubilant.
Jubilant. Is that even a word? It is jubilant. Yeah. Wow.
Jubilation. We're speaking to Lady S.
Jubilant. Just that.
I think it's going to be a emotional, not in a bad way. It's going to be a nice, light-hearted, uplifting kind of vibe or feeling. Go with the flow with it, and I think having that relaxed vibe and feeling will make you you kind of feel at ease. It's not something you've been able to do for a while. I know the reasons why. Well, we know the reasons why. But I think tomorrow evening will be something that is it's going to come very easy for you to kind of slink back into the kind of energy you give out, the kind of vibe that your associates will have as well.
It'll be highly jubilant.
Highly jubilant.
Jubilant.
Much of a hurrah. Yeah, I'm feeling good things. Message me and let me know where it is, Lady Sarah, so I know that I got it right. I am getting the thought that it is a work thing, so there will still be that professional side of things, but it's still going to be either professional, or you're going to have professionals from that line of work there. So yeah, business pleasure, more pleasure, a little bit of business, go down a store. Hope that resonates.
So I'm jumping back onto Facebook. I keep saying that I'm jumping back on.
One of your previous readings you pulled a Willow Oracle card for, and they said that her and their son, I think it was, both fall under Willow on the Celtic tree as well, which was quite cool.
So I've got reading for Debbie Taylor. I'd love a tarot reading, please. Okay. So we've got the Page of Wands, which is my Scorpio card as well. So if it's about you, clearly legendary. Four of Swords.
Legs and hairy, that's what he was meant to say.
Was it? And Six of Cups. So I need to ask you if you are in a position of leadership or in a position of teaching. If not, why not? Because it feels like you should be. Because it feels like there is an air of ness about you. I can't
Nobility?
think of, no, nobility?
Yeah, it's
No.
like
Jubilance. There's an air of jubilance around. Everything is jubilant tonight. There is something about you that people feel drawn to you because of, and I don't think people necessarily know that reason why, and I'm talking more spiritually than anything else. It feels like there is a spiritual family around you, but that family needs to be extended slightly and almost have some, I was going to say underlings, but that's not what I mean, like new people that you take under your wing, because I feel like you've got a lot of knowledge, a lot of information to be able to share with people, and I don't think you're really getting the opportunity to be able to do that at the moment. It's not really relevant for Beltane, but I think just after solstice this year, so sort of beginning of July, maybe start of August, there is an opportunity for you to kind of dip your toe in to do more of that. And I think it's going to be weird at first because it's people putting you on a pedestal, which is always a weird feeling if you're not used to that, or you're not that sort of person that can take that. But it's a really positive thing, and I think you'll get a lot from it as well. Have you got more to do there?
Yeah, Lady Sarah says it. She hopes it's jubilant as well. Where have we got? So Lady S, Charlene Hills.
I've got her on Facebook as well.
Evening, could I have a career reading, please? Do you want to do tarot and I'll do an oracle?
Oh, okay.
Do a join one?
Okay.
Ooh, I'm easing into it now.
I'd love a career reading if possible. Any advice? Okay. How many are you doing?
I'm just going to do one oracle.
Okay. So I've got the Nine of Swords,
And
the Moon, and the Four of Cups. So when you're looking at what it is that you're currently doing, the phrase "the grass is always greener" is going to stick out massively here, which doesn't really help you when you're stuck in that weird limbo space as you are at the moment. I do think a change is necessary, but I don't think the change that you're thinking about is necessarily the right one. And I also don't want you to rush into this change, because I do think it's something that's going to be regretted almost straight away after the change has taken place. I want to make sure that the people around you are very open and non-illusion.
not illusion.
I can't think of the word I'm thinking for. Authentic people, and are not doing things for their own gain or for their like things going on under the surface. And I think at the moment, what's going on career-wise, there is a lot of that around, where people are kind of doing things for their own benefit and not really incorporating the thoughts or feelings or ideas of other people. And I think you're going to kind of get lost in that. So I think a career change is needed, not necessarily into a different, oh my god, words.
Department or job?
No, what's the word? Theme. Oh my god, industry. I don't think necessarily need to change industry, but I do think a change is needed sooner rather than later, but not rushed at all. So yeah, don't just react to something. Sit with it for a bit, but don't take too long, because you'll miss the opportunity. So just don't make a rash decision on stuff.
And the oracle you got was the Mystic. So I think for me, in conjunction with what Chris was saying, having that foresight to be able to see whether that career change is a good or bad decision would be something that you need to work with. So be it meditation, doing a journey, asking that spiritual side of you for 3 signs that you wouldn't normally see in your day-to-day life, to know that it is the right decision or it isn't the right decision. Have them key markers over a week, over 3 or 4 days, and knowing that the question that you've put out there, then markers will give you a clear indication of whether it's a yes or whether it's a no.
So is it still for Charlene?
Yes.
So she's just put incredibly spot on. I've been thinking about leaving nursing in some way. So this is, so with what was John was saying as well, this is about taking the experience you've got from that and not completely changing career, but doing something with what it is that you've learned. So you're still, it's almost like you're not stepping away from the whole thing.
Different department rather than a different job entirely, perhaps.
Or maybe a different role, but still with the same experience. That where you can use the same experience.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry, but Facebook has jumped again massively. So I'll go to, I think the first one I've got on the top of this there is P. Louise, Jasper Osborne. I don't know this person. I've got no idea who she is. Poriskova, we'll pick a couple of cards for you.
And can Louise Groves and Sophie Longdon rewrote their message. And someone called Susan Oliver Leverett has asked a question as well.
Reading, no.
Hi, Suze.
So Poriskova, you have the Sun, the Knight of Swords.
Oh, and I hope that resonates, Charlene. Sorry, I forgot.
And the Four of Wands. So, we were talking earlier on about strings to bows and things like that, and I very much want to make sure that the things you're doing going forward incorporate more than one of your tools or more than one of your abilities, because it feels like things in the past have been very separate, like very linear things kind of running alongside each other, but I kind of want them to DNA, I kind of want them to switch and mash over and put things together and try things that are different. The summer this year gives you the opportunity to do that, but it doesn't mean that every opportunity that comes your way you have to do. And also need to say to you, there is a really strange connection from the past that comes back in that is like oh, where did that come from? I personally would kind of just push it to the side and kind of go, oh, that can go back where it came from, because it's just an unnecessary kind of weird, out of the blue, either physical interaction with someone, like you bump into someone from the past, or you get a text or an email of someone from this person, and you're just kind of like, oh, why are they getting in touch? Don't entertain it, because it's just unnecessary and almost kind of distracts from other things that are going on. And there just seems to be a lot of drama around this person, and it kind of feels like that's what they're coming to do. They want some more energy to kind of thrive or feed off of. But yeah, there's 3, possibly 4. I don't want to say projects because it feels like they're longer than that in the summer, but you don't have to do all 4 of those things. Maybe do the 2 that you really like doing, but they're really nice new opportunities. These are things that haven't come around before that are really great things to experience if you choose to. You haven't got to do them.
Awesome. I've forgotten that thing already. General, was it for
whatever she needs to hear?
Okay, so Louise Groves.
Louise, like Hertfordshire Louise. Hi, Louise. Yeah, tell her.
Oh, right, okay. Have I met Louise before?
No.
Oh, right, okay. I'll apologise in advance then, Louise. Oh, she's coming out a lot tonight.
Queen ones. Well,
Yeah.
same with her husband, we don't like that one.
Yeah. So we have for Louise, Queen of Wands, the Chariot, and 7 of Cups. Before I forget, Kerry McGee, can you just keep an eye on that one? Mm-hmm. Please, Nicola. Choices. If there's a possibility of doing something, try before you buy, but not clothes or food. It's something that is career minded. Kind of feel like that you, if I say to you, what do you want, would you honestly be able to tell me? I think there's a couple of things that you're keen on doing, but you don't know how well they will mesh with the kind of person you are at the moment, which is why you've then got that option to try it, see whether you like it. If not, you have your backup plan. Be honest with yourself while you're doing it. But just be mindful while you're doing it, people are watching. So keep that thought process and that energy internally until you're able to get out of eye shot and earshot.
And I've got 2 oracle cards for you as well. And get your shit together and do it. Just do it. You've got 2 cards, the Sea and the Willow. The Willow is the one that's come out tonight. You worry too much about how other people are going to react to what it is that you're going to do, but they're not the ones making you happy at all. It needs to be the things that are going to provide for you and be sustaining for you going forward, and that you're going to really get something from. And dream big. If you don't dream big, you're never going to achieve big. I say that a lot, which is really cheesy. You know, if you decide that you want a new job somewhere and that's your big dream, well, that's great, but that could happen in a month. What's your next thing? So what's your like John was saying, what do you want? What's your really big thing? Vision board it and put everything on there that seems like completely unachievable, because you'd be surprised at how much you could achieve. You are, from what I can remember, a force to be reckoned with, but you don't believe you are.
And I've never met you before, and that marries up quite well. Good luck. Hope that resonates.
So I've seen on...
there was a...
Is it Kerry? Kerry
McGee?
About Mojo.
Yeah.
Got this.
Do you know who that is?
No, but I've got this.
Oh, right, okay. We'll apologise for the 4th time.
So I think she needs an oracle as well. So, Kerry, Mojo. Now I'm saying Mojo too much, it sounds weird. So, Page of Cups. I totally get that it's gone, but it's not lost, and I don't know if that's a worry. It can come back. Okay, so you've got the Page of Cups, you've got the High Priest, and you've also got Kuan Yin again. So I need to say to you the same as what we've just said to Louise. What is it that you want? I think that's got lost in translation somewhere, and what's now happening is we're kind of just existing and just kind of going through the motions as opposed to actually living. So it's just being, I think, learning to be more present and learning to enjoy the really small things will start to bring that spark back, but you also need to find those things that make you genuinely happy, and that could be just taking, you know, twice a week, just sitting having a coffee, or sitting in the garden and, you know, or sitting in a coffee shop watching the world go by, just taking yourself out of the same run of the mill every day, sort of breaking that cycle of the monotony, to try and find where it is that you fit into things, because I think at the moment that the place where you fitted with the Page of Cups is no longer there. It doesn't exist, and because of that, you now don't know where to put yourself. So rather than try and fit into something that you haven't created, we need to change your shape into the position that you want to be in. But in order to do that, you need to know what it is that you want. Okay, if that makes sense. And the oracle is...
And then the oracle is from the Shamanic Medicine Oracle cards, which is Altar. So it's got, I don't like using the words, but it's all about honouring, honouring. Being present, like going off what Chris was saying, just being able to feel that you've got that support around you, whether you can see them or not, is a big thing to do with trust. So having the ability to trust that what you are doing and how you are being, everyone is aware of that. That doesn't...
Yeah. Oh.
I kind of feels like there's something...
So I'm just banning people from the page.
Yeah, you will get it back, but just remember who you are at this moment right now, because you don't want to change everything about you, because when you look in the mirror you may not see yourself. Yeah. Hope that resonates. While you're sorting out that, have you got the one?
I'm completely lost with where we are. I don't know who I have and haven't got now.
I think Facebook's playing up big time.
Yeah. If people are able to get onto YouTube and they haven't, if Facebook is playing up,
I've got Anna Married. I don't have your question, Anna, so if you want to put it again, that'd be great. Sophie Longdon, mine was a general tarot. Stop spending money. Stop buying disgusting coffee. Stop buying everything from charity shops. Stop buying crystals that you don't need. I can carry. Do you want me to pull a card? Let's pull a card for you.
Bear with me, Sophie.
Oh no, I can shuffle the cards. Don't want that one anyway. So, Sophie. So I've got the 9 of Wands.
I've got the 7 of Wands.
And then the 7 of Pentacles. Just do it politely. Read it politely.
Yes.
Politely. I don't quite know how to. Stop being lazy. Get your stuff done. You've got so much potential again. So much potential to create awesome things. Do it. The cards are telling you do it. Do it, Sophie. Yeah. You've got 2 high-end cards, and it's reaping what you sow. You just. I wish you could see in the things that you do what other people see, and it would fuel you on to do more. But you're so self-critical on yourself all the time, and it's just not needed.
So
You've been
from
told.
the ether, aka our friend Nicola, she's pulled a card, and it is. It's from an amazing deck. It's all about flowers and herbs, and it is the 3 of Air, which is Echinacea. And the words that we've got written down is speak the truth about your heartbreak, it will release your potential.
And she knows exactly what we're talking about because we've spoken about it before on numerous occasions, and she hasn't done it.
And so I've got Death, the Emperor, and the 7 of Wands. So again, your creative stuff you need to get doing, and it's not just us telling you as friends and work colleagues, it's us telling you as
Ether channelers.
Oh no, that sounds pompous. As people that know your worth and who are able to value your worth. Death card, it may be the ending of something, but that doesn't mean to say that it can't restart as something new and fresh once you've put to bed the stuff that you need to deal with.
In a different way.
Yes. The Emperor, firm but fair and just.
Daddy James.
Mediator, having someone around while you're conversing and being able to air your frustrations in a calm and responsive manner will be a great way of doing it. And then again, the 7 of Wands, pick one thing and do it well, which you can. Love you. Hope that resonates.
That's going to become the new thing. So I've got another one on Facebook, Nadine Abbey. Let's have a look. General, was it general? Please can I have a tarot of anything you see coming up for me? Okay. I noticed a lot of repeat cards coming out tonight. So, the Knight of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the King of Swords. So, I want to make sure that the things that you're doing all have a purpose, because it feels like that there have been things in the past that have been done as you've chosen to do as a distraction technique, because you haven't wanted to deal with particular things that are going on. And I know at the moment you seem to be juggling a lot of things, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes some of those things are going to need to be put down. And if it can't necessarily be put down long term, just pop it down so you can have a breather, and then reevaluate why you've been holding that thing for so long, and if something can be done to at least lighten the load from it. I want to make sure that you're standing in your power and that you're not being dictated to with how you should react to or deal with the things that are going on around you. And I also want to just make sure that you're also you are not ignoring your creative side, because I don't feel like that's quite where it could be either. So there's something that, if it serves the purpose of relaxation, but it's also creative, win-win. But yeah, that needs to be kind of readdressed as well. But yeah, that's it.
So on YouTube, Elspeth, I hope I've said that right. I'd love some career insight if you have time.
It's just completely jumped.
So we have the Sun, Page of Cups, and again the Three of Pentacles. Career's going well. There's a little thing called the national minimum wage, which is going up in April. Maybe worth having a word with your company to see whether it's about time you get a raise. If they say no, don't tell them, don't send them to me. Page of Cups. Mischievous is okay in little doses. Just being mindful of how much you're putting out there during your work. It's always great to have a laugh and a joke, but there is a time and place for it. But overall, I would say that it's definitely heading in the right direction. I really feel like you're good at what you're doing, so they just need to remember that with great creativity, there needs to be that other outlet as well with it. Just trying to get that balance in that work environment will be amazing. Hope that resonates.
It's like the thing. It's like engage.
Yes.
So Anna Mered, I'm hoping that's not how I'm saying it. I'm going to start my own herbal medicine business. Scared of what to do next. If you're in the UK, my guidance would be do your research because there is so much red tape with it. I personally also wouldn't call it herbal medicine. I call it herbal remedies because the word medicine puts a lot of people off. I guess my one bit of guidance on a business level is make it affordable because a lot of people that are starting at the moment aren't, and it should be for everyone. So your cards are Temperance, the Five of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. So I think with this, you need to make sure that the reasons why you originally wanted to go into it and the reasons why you started it are still valid now. And I kind of want to say to you, don't feel like you need to sell out with don't sell out on your morals or don't sell out on your values to anyone or anything else. So stick true to what it is that drives you to do what it is that you're doing. It feels like it's going to be a bit of a slow burn financially. So if that's okay without it being a burden on you, then that's absolutely great. But you will reach kind of like a tipping point where it will then just become sustainable, and it will be something that is also a self-funded business, but will also still something that makes your heart sing as well. And I want to make sure that going forward, those are the two things that are very much aligning and in balance with each other. It needs to be sustainable, but it also needs to be something that is still there for the reasons why you chose to do it in the first place. And I guess on a business level, find your niche, because so many people are doing it at the moment. Find your thing that's different. I had so many ideas jumping into my head already. Yeah, feel free to message if you want to chat about it. But yeah, that would be my thing: sustainability, financially, and doing what your heart says are the reasons why your heart said you should do it in the first place.
So on YouTube, I'm glad that was spot on, Elspeth. That's really helped my confidence. Thank you very much for that. Liz, my sister Kim says, have you got a message for her?
Stop buying Violet Flame Spring. I think a message for her. Ooh. Ooh. Do I want a tree? I think I want a tree because I haven't done any trees. But if the willow comes out, no more willow. So we've got the elder, the blackthorn. Oh, I've pulled two. The hawthorn and the vine. So it's interesting that the blackthorn and the hawthorn come out together. I want to make sure that on both a personal level and a professional level that your boundaries are in place. And while I want them to stay rigid, I want to make sure they're very much put in place on your terms. Don't dismiss what other people are saying straight away. Let them kind of spiel off their stuff and then make a decision. Don't just assume that because that person has spouted off nonsensical fluff in the past, it's going to be exactly the same. Chances are it probably will, but don't judge them until they finished it. Make sure that the people around you are of a like-minded mindset. So I don't want you to have to keep explaining the reasons why you feel a certain way about something, and I don't want you to have to keep explaining, or not explaining, justifying. I don't need to keep justifying the way you feel about things because people just don't get it. Find the people that you can say, I don't particularly like that, and they kind of go, cool, I get that. So it just feels like it's exhausting, if anything, because you feel like you're constantly having to defend how you feel and where you're at with things, when actually your time could be spent on much better things. And if she tries to re-establish communication, just block her.
Awesome. Sue, the last name's gone, but I believe it was Cell Card.
Where's the name? How do the names go?
So they're going down on my one, so I've only got 4, so I'm trying to remember
them
as I see them. So Sue wants general for the next couple of months.
Was it leather or was it?
No. Unless she's made a fake account in a matter of minutes. I'm sure it was apologies for I know it was a Sue S.
Is this Facebook?
Sue SK, yeah. So next couple of months, please take it slow. I know there's a lot going on at the moment, but if you don't take it slow, I'm hoping that was one of the furs.
That's the cat.
If you don't take it slow, you may find that you have no choice in doing so. Will probably be the nicest way of saying it, because they will bring you down with a cold, or there will be something that will make you stop and relax. I know there's a few things going on at the moment that may need your attention, one at a time. Easiest one first, write it down on a list so you know where you're at with it, because it can be a little bit overwhelming. So making sure that you're able to keep on top of it. Not everyone loves a list. I do, he doesn't, but it does work well because he blurts out everything, I write it down, and then I can tick it off while he does it.
And then I say, where's that list?
Yes, and I go in here. So yeah, just make sure that you are aware of what you need to do. Do it at a calm, collected pace, and try and take that, even if it's half an hour, go and chill out, go for a wander in the forest, go and have a cup of tea and do some people watching. Just be aware that you need to look after yourself, especially coming up to Beltane, because it's going to be a adventurous time, I feel, for you. Hope that resonates. And then there was an Amy Dewey, how can I improve my craft? How can you improve your craft? On a side note, we have an academy called Asgard Academy, if you want to check that out.
So, to be fair, Sophie did ask about that. So, if anyone is interested, we do run a Tarot for Beginners class on our Asgard Academy, which is our online training portal. We say it's an online training portal, but we also do face-to-face things as well. So if you look at asgardacademy.co.uk, actually up until Sunday, it's a shameless plug now, up until Sunday we have got a buy two, get one free across all of our classes. If it is something that is a practitioner level, then the majority of them come with practice days as well, like where you come and see us face-to-face. Otherwise, if it's something like tarot or introduction to natural witchcraft or introduction to crystals or something like that, it's all done online. But your answers are marked by an actual person as opposed to a robot. So you've always got the tutor help there as well. Plug over.
So Amy, your cards are 10 of Cups, the Moon, and 7 of Swords. Improve your craft. Do you feel like it needs improving? Is it something that you can add to it? A lot of people with the craft, it's all about adding things to your tool belt. So if you have kind of mastered, if you are comfortable doing 1 or 2 things, I'm getting the feeling that it may not just be, when you say the craft, I'm not getting totally witchcraft, I'm getting something else, something that you do with your hands. So I'd be wanting to make sure you know what path of craft you want to go down. Don't be disillusioned by what you may be seeing around or hearing around. Everyone has their own unique way of doing things, so just make sure that you are comfortable and confident in your abilities going forward. People will see that and they will be able to help resonate and connect in with you, and you have your support. You'll have your support network with you. Just be mindful of who you have, because not everyone is there to help. There may be a hinder. Our lovely Nicola has given you a card, the Ace of Water, which is plantain. It's really nice. And she has wrote, keep it simple, use your innate compassion, follow your joy. I hope that resonates.
Okay.
I'm going to stop saying that for a minute now because it sounds fake now.
So I've got another one on Facebook, Claire Marie Holistic Therapist. Any guidance for filling into a liminal space with relationship and work? I love the word liminal, it's one of my favourite words. I don't quite know why, I just like the way it sounds. Liminal. Anyway, we'll do you 2 cards on each, so 2 cards on relationship, 2 cards on work.
While Chris is doing that,
liminal.
Liz, yes we do. Big and small.
Liminal.
And that was Violet Flame for anyone else who's not on YouTube.
Liminal space. Anyway, 10 of Cups. So this is relationship. 10 of Cups. Firstly,
an hour and a half in, and it's turned into delirium.
Liminal. 10 of Cups and 8 of Cups. It's not something that's going to change overnight, and I wouldn't expect it to. But I do think that we need to relook at the reasons why you don't think it's a solid companionship, be it from every side. I just don't think that it seems to be a lot of effort going in, and it doesn't seem like the same is coming back out. And I think the reasons why you started that in the first place, I think they're kind of still there, but they've kind of got lost in translation. I think they kind of got lost in life, and we just need to kind of stop, reevaluate where we are, and then have an ongoing discussion about where things go going forward, because it doesn't feel like the same page is even in the same book anymore. And we'll do work. Work's going to be loads better. Liminal. 4 of Wands. And the Magician. Work is loads better. Focus on work. Just do work stuff. There are lots of different avenues that are going to be opening up probably between now and the end of September. And I don't necessarily think that... I'd love to say to you do all of them, but you're going to have to see which ones are going to be more practical to do, because there is a tendency to get really excited and overwhelmed with like new projects and new things, and it's a bit like Kid in the Sweet Shop. And while there's nothing wrong with that, we also need to make sure that we are still being practical about the amount of work we're taking on. But it does feel like there's been a bit of a quiet period, maybe for the, I actually was going to say 3 or 4 months, but I think it's actually been longer than that. I just feel like it's become very, stagnant's the wrong word, but it's become very still. There isn't much forward movement with it, and that will change if you want it to change. So don't be afraid of putting your requests out there. But I feel like I've blah, blah, blah. I feel like, I can't even speak, liminal. I feel like when you put that request out there, you're going to kind of be bombarded with all these other options, and it's going to be really tempting to just go, yes, I'll do all of them. Don't. Just do the ones that seem like they're the best fit for now, because those other ones will be there and you can do them another time. You can do them afterwards if need be.
So James Mead, Nicola, is there jubilation in the liminal? If you have time, would be great for a general card reading. Okay, so while I was shuffling for you, James, I had the Wheel of Fortune come out.
I think that means stop buying singing bowls. Tell them to stop buying singing bowls.
I'm going to tell him what the cards say. If you want to buy singing bowls, James, you buy singing bowls. Just make sure that they are the right kind. Well, you know how there are fakes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not having them. Oh, and there's another one. I've lost one. Thank you.
How many cards did you throw out?
12. 8 of Wands, the High Priestess, and 4 of Wands.
Olawakimi Gold has got a cure for HIV.
Amazing.
We'll ban her. Or him.
They or them. So, Wheel of Fortune, 4 of Wands, High Priestess, 8 of Wands. Oh, it's got eerily quiet. It's not looking bad. I think there is a time for rest and reflection. I think it's coming up, and I think it's well needed. There's been something momentous that has been weighing heavy on your mind, and I think it's at a point now where it's safe to say that it's settled enough in you, and the other person has kind of come to terms with that. Plan and prepare for your next part of what you're looking at doing, and know that there is someone close by. And even though I'm kind of getting it's a female influence, be it sister, mum, aunt, someone family wise, and as a female is going to be there to actually help take you to that next part.
Who was that for?
James.
Oh.
I did say.
Yeah, I completely zoned out because I was blocking people with HIV cures.
You can never have enough bowls.
You can never have enough bowls. So I've got one on Facebook for Nikki Rex Bird. Bird, yeah. Hi, I mean, husband cat is on the right path after a difficult start to the year. I'm not going to lie, it's been a weird start to the year. It's been very... is the only way I can describe it. There isn't really a descriptive word for it. It's just been very odd. It's been a very strange year so far. What's up?
No, what was that?
What was what?
No, was that a tarot thingy?
Yeah. I'm just randomly talking about strange stuff. Oh, yeah. And I've seen that Helen's asked about wax readings, so... Yes. Okay,
if
so...
you read for
Nikki. So, first one is the Fool. The Fool, rather than the Fall. 9 of Cups. And the 5 of Swords. So I think the one thing that's kind of very prominent first off is the communication is misfiring. You're probably both talking about the same thing when you're having conversations, but the language that you're both using is confusing the other one, and it's like, I don't know whether there is an element of one person trying to keep hold of kind of like the control of that conversation, but it feels like that one of you's trying to put your point across, and because the terminology you're using isn't something that you would usually use to express yourself, it's making the other person almost defensive, almost kind of like they're going, why are you saying things like this, why are you coming across like that? So I kind of want to strip everything back and take it back to how things were before, not right before, because obviously people change, and kind of find that way of rediscovering each other. But I think the emotional bond that you've got has held through a lot and will continue to hold through a lot, but you need to find a way to communicate with each other in the right way, whether that be either talking face to face or initiating something over text message first, or then over phone before then coming together, whether you write something down and give it to each other in a letter. There needs to be some sort of change in the way that you communicate in order for it to re-strengthen itself. But I do really like the bond the two of you got, and I'm now going to completely contradict myself because I think both of you are fiercely independent, which probably also doesn't help. You don't need each other, so you need to rediscover the reasons why you want to be with each other. Because yeah, you're both really independent.
Wax reading, Helen, is one way of doing it is letting a candle burn all the way down. Once it's burned, you can then have a look at the wax, see if there's any images or anything is kind of presenting itself in the wax, be it names, patterns, not names, letters, numbers, something like that. Or you've got a candle with a bowl full of cold water. When you get some wax, pour that wax into the water. As it hits the water, it will then quickly solidify and it will then create a shape. Turning the bowl, a clear bowl would be better so you can see all angles. Turning that bowl around, seeing again whether there's any shapes, any patterns, any letters, any numbers that are coming out, which you can then interpret. It a little bit like tea leaf reading. Once you spill the cup and chuck the tea down the sink, get left with your tea leaves so you can disseminate.
Chuck the tea?
Kindly pour the tea down. It's the same with the wax in the bowl. Turn it around and see if you can see anything in there that resonates with you.
I prefer that way of doing it in the cold bowl.
Yeah.
The cold bowl? In the bowl of cold water.
In the bowl of cold water.
Yeah.
Madeline Towler, an oracle card for... It's just jumped. Madeline Towler, I can't remember what it was, so I will do an oracle card because I saw that. And Sue Spolwig said the peppermint oil.
Yeah, it's Sue that was asking how you were, that were telling you to rest up.
Sue. Hello, Sue. Chuck the tea, Rachel Sophie Davies. No.
Rachel's going to open a tea shop. Aren't you, Rachel? Yes. She's going to open a tea shop in Glastonbury. Tea shop.
So we have transmutation.
What was the question?
I want to say it was about...
Oh, regarding relationship.
Yeah. I don't think it's a negative, the transmutation. I think it's... As I think, I feel it's something that you've... Is it even you? Something is changing in the relationship, and I don't think it's something that you were expecting. Being able to ask the right questions is going to be the best way to move things forward, and just because something is changing, it's not always for a bad thing. So I think it's going to help you kind of move forward instead of backwards, but just tread lightly for that.
And Rachel registered her tea business today.
Well done, Rachel. Hello, Tara. Lovely to see you. G&T.
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 Leslie Goodbon. Hi guys from Hemel Hempstead Machine.
Hi, Leslie.
It's been years, Leslie. I don't actually see any more questions on there. So if you have one on either Facebook or I was going to say Instagram.
YouTube. I think the chat's calmed down a little bit now. So if we haven't got to you on Facebook,
please
send it through now.
I was going to say photo. Don't send your photo at all. Question. Send your question. Don't send any photos. That's weird. Yeah. If anyone's got any other questions, fire them across now. And while we've still got a fair,
Diana Morata Delis Evans, if you have time, could I have a card pulled, please? Ooh. 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups, and 6 of Wands. Remember the good and not the bad. Something is feeling like it's all consuming, but you can't forget that there were good times too. Hold on to that, and that will help you push forward.
I think you were going to rhyme then, and that will help you through.
The glass isn't always half full, it can be half empty. Knowing which one is relevant at that time helps tremendously.
I think you're going to rhyme again.
No.
That'll be the challenge for the next one. All the readings have got to be rhyming. We've just got to make sure we've got the right timing. Jane Gordon, can you give me a reading about love? It can be really cheesy and be like, you need to make sure you love yourself first, Jane. It's gone very RuPaul. So first one is the 4 of Cups. Next one is the 2 of Wands. And then you've got the King of Wands. So I think we need to relook at what it is that we actually want from a relationship, or what sort of love it is that we're after, because it feels like you're looking for something that was applicable or right years ago, which isn't going to fit in with what there is for now. And you've built up this life around you that it works for you. I want to make sure that bringing someone else into that isn't going to disrupt that or change it too much, because you've worked really hard and you've done a lot of development to get to where it is that you are. We could still do a little bit more on that self-worth, and I want to make sure that someone that comes in matches your essence rather than counteracts that and starts to undo what it is that you've done, because it would just be really sad to see that start to almost kind of crumble away if you bring in someone that isn't going to enhance it. So I want to make sure that the person that comes in, I'm actually going to be even more cheesier and say that sometimes the best things come in really small packages, and I'm referring to the height of the person. There is potentially someone on the horizon who there is already a connection with, so there is already an emotional bond with this person, be it through a friend group or be it through someone you know via someone you know, but that you already know of this person who there is a really nice warmth and gentleness with, but I don't think you think they see you in that way, and it's going to require almost kind of kicking the door down to let them know, hey, I'm here and I do feel like this, or having maybe just a very straightforward conversation with that person to say, I like you.
And then from me, I would just want to say, why have I got Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do with It running around in my head? No idea.
And I don't really know
what
that much about Tina Turner, so I can't even do any like gestures or make a joke about it.
I don't know why. Jane.
See the big hair one?
Yes. Nutbush City Limits.
What are you doing?
That's what she does. Sarah Brown on YouTube. Can I ask where to go next? please.
To the Asgard Academy website.
Corny.
I know. Says the man that just did something from Tina Turner.
Oh, I didn't know. Where to go next? Kerry McGee.
I know. I'm trying to. You drew three tarot for me. Page of Cups, High Priest, and the third card sounded like my Cornelian. Cornelian. Oh God.
Kuan Yin.
Kuan Yin. Oh, I'll come back to you in a second, Kerry. Yeah.
Sarah Brown. Can I ask where to go next, please? The Moon, the Hierophant, and the Ace of Swords. Wherever it is you're going, make sure that you tell someone. And the reason I say that is.
Oh my God! Tell someone where you're going.
It's dark.
Yeah, it is dark. It's taking a turn.
Oh, no, I don't mean it like that. It's. No, I don't mean it like that. It's. Just because you've got that thought process in your head, letting someone else know what it is you're doing and where you're going will help steer you in the right direction, because it may not be what you should be doing. There is something that is coming, that is waiting around the corner, which is unexpected, but be honest and truthful with yourself about where you want it going, because I don't think the other person, and I don't even think I mean in love, I think it's career related. I just think that it's something that you need to be 100% on, because if you're not, and you don't find out exactly what it is, you're going to come a cropper, and you're not going to be able to get out of it after that fact. So be mindful of this new thing that you are doing, and read the fine print, because it may not be exactly what it seems, and tell someone else about it so that they can give you their thoughts and opinions on it, because it may differ from yours. Yeah, I think that resonates.
I think I'm changing now.
Yeah.
So Kerry, you drew 3 tarot for me. Page of Cups, High Priest, but the third card's my Cornelian, probably my blocked here. The card was Kuan Yin, or Kuan Yin, or Guan Yin, depending on where you come from and how you spell it. Or the Oracle deck. She is a Tibetan a goddess / ascended master of forgiveness, mercy, love, compassion. Yeah, she's an amazing energy to work with. But yeah, it's like most places spell it Kwan space Yin, Kuan Yin. But then some people spell it with a G, and there's a couple of different ways of spelling it. But yeah, if you have a look up Kuan Yin.
So there's no more on YouTube.
So I just saw
Helen Sullivan, yes, we remember you.
Elizabeth Horf, I think it is. General reading, not sure if you did one for me or not. I don't think we did, Elizabeth. I think this is possibly the last one. So, Elizabeth, these are for you. Elizabeth, this is for you. Right.
What's love got to do with it?
I don't know what that is. 4 of Pentacles. 10 of Swords. What is going on with the 9 and 10 of Swords tonight? I do not know. And the 7 of Swords. Well, those are lovely cards to have out.
Is this general?
Yeah. Be more discerning with... I don't know if that's the right word. Be more discerning with people. Yep. Be more discerning with people, and if someone it comes across like you take everybody at face value and you take people on their word, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if the feeling you're getting inside when you're having those conversations, those interactions, are not matching up with what's being said, then you have to take a look at why. Second chances are great. Third chances are also okay, but eighth chances are no. You're kind of allowing people to then take advantage and walk over you. And there's nothing wrong with being good-natured, but the boundaries still need to be put in place from you. You need to decide how close or not you let people. I don't know if something, I don't know obviously, but I'm getting from the cards that a relocation of something needs to happen, be it either via work, be it either with family members, or be it via the home. But yeah, something needs to be relocated or rejiggled. Something's not quite right. Something's not sitting in the most productive place or space that's working for you. Well, yeah, with the discerning thing, be more questioning. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And if the answers that you then get also don't resonate with how you're feeling about that situation inside, then literally don't do it. And don't be afraid of explaining people to reasons, explaining to people the reasons why as well. I hope that resonates. Said Tina Turner. You see one pop up from Amber.
Yeah.
It's Hecate Amber. Amber Mars. Sorry I'm late to this. Any cardboard that I need right now to hear would be great. If not, totally fine. Thank you much. I think coming into that to be next Friday. Amazing. Look forward to seeing you on Friday. I'm assuming you're coming to the shop. Yeah. She was asking on the Crystal Live for crystals. I can't remember if it was about shadow working or the darker God might be the Caradwin, or I know we were talking about something. I think we ended up talking about Caradwin, about transition and change. Yeah. Hecate Amber.
I will remember the face.
The face?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So, do you want to do Amber's reading? Because there's one on YouTube that I can do.
That was the internal squeal. So, Two of Cups is an otter card. It's my favourite. Six of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. So, on an empathic level, I want to make sure you're looking after you first, because it feels like there is a lot going around that you're picking up from others on a work level, on a home life level, family relationships. And it's kind of like this is kind of like a two-pronged attack. I want to make sure that you're looking after you, but I also want to make sure that you're comfortable in your own self, because I don't want you to get further down the line life-wise and go, I really wish I'd found someone because it will complete me, because you complete you. You are okay on your own. I can totally understand you wanting somebody on a companionship level with regards to a relationship, but it has to be the right person, because in the past you've compromised way too much on the values and ideals of what it is that you're trying to draw to you. I need to kick you into gear on a healing level, as in like doing it for others. Empathically, I can't remember if I told you this before, but you worry me because you take on so much stuff and there is no safety valve, there's no release valve for it, and it's just staying with you, and it shouldn't do because it's not your stuff. So yeah, we need to try and find you a technique where you can release, let go, disconnect from things, and also find the fun. So things still need to be done. I've rhymed. Fun and done. Yeah. Ish. Things need to be done on a practical level to pay the bills with work and things like that. But then, where is the joy? Where are you going out and doing things for you? And don't lose sight of that as well. And if you can incorporate that into your craft, because the energies you tend to work with are very heavy but very serious. Find the light side of that as well and bring that into the same working with those not heavy, intense. The energies are quite intense. Bring that into that same field, if you like.
Awesome. So before I get onto Mortimer on YouTube, Rachel, just a question. Thank you very much for that. Can I ask the Just a Shop in comments? Has that come from somewhere, or is that from a previous conversation?
We've had conversations.
Right. Okay. It's just we've had a day of synchronicities,
Yeah.
and that has been used today with my conversations with Nicola. It was just one of them poignant moments for me. So thank you for that. You don't know why, but I will. I'm sure if you're in the shop, Rebecca's just messaged. Yeah, if you ever do come into the shop, I can explain why. So Mortimer can have a tarot reading.
So I think we'll do Mortimer, and then we'll do Rebecca, and then probably call it, because we are approaching 2 hours. And there's cake, Could you pull a card for Rebecca? Yes.
So Mortimer, we have 6 of Cups, 2 of Wands, 4 of Cups. Choices are afoot. Again, so you've got 2 emotional based cards. So I think it's making sure that even though your heart may be overruling your head, don't forget that if everyone followed their heart, it wouldn't always lead to the best outcomes. Being able to add that emotional side of things to this decision, this fork in the road, you've got to make sure that your past experiences will help guide you on that into that right direction. I kind of feel like it's once you've finished having this break and you're then able to move forward for the rest of it, there isn't any reverse path. So make sure you know that direction that you want to set off out onto is the right one for both your head and your heart. Good luck.
And that resonates. Angie Mockett says hi. Angie from Tarot Circle.
Hi, Angie.
So I think we'll do the last one as Rebecca. Can you pull me any card you feel drawn to from the please? Yes.
Who's that?
Becky.
So Becky, 8 of Fire, which is ginger. I said the flapjacks we're going to have later. Respond swiftly to creative possibilities. Act when you are inspired. Act, adapt, go again. Yeah. Oh, that freaked me out then. I thought there was someone top right-hand corner.
So the cards that you've got are the Lovers, the Knight of Swords, and Justice. So the word I need to give you is resilience. You have been through so much and continue to go through so much, but you tend to do it all internally. You don't, very rarely do you ask for help from people around you, and I don't know if that's because you don't want to burden them, but there is absolutely no shame in asking the people that care about you and care for you for assistance, because you would do the same for those people if they were to ask you. On a relationship level, I kind of don't want to give you one because I don't want you to have anyone that's hard work. I just want like a really nice, easy, relaxed kind of free-flowing companion rather than having
the other stuff weighing down on you with it as well.
Yeah, just something nice for a change. Just something nice and light and easy.
Steady.
Something easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call up and go, oh, do you fancy going for dinner? Yeah, let's do that. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Or to the beach.
Okay, to the beach. I don't really like these cards. Can I swap them?
No.
Yeah, I think, like one of the other readings we had earlier on about just existing and kind of dealing with the things that you've had to deal with rather than living, it feels like that's been very prominent. And I would love to say to you, it's going to change, but I don't think it is yet because I don't think you feel like you can do that. I don't feel like you can make the big changes and make the almost kind of like big like goalpost decisions in life for you to really live it. But you can. There's nothing really holding you back. Everything can be sorted out and put in its place afterwards. I think it's just kind of re-looking at what you want to get out of life, not just long term, now as well, because you can start enjoying things now if you're not afraid to make that change. And it is a scary thing. It's a big thing to do when it's anything that's not just like, what am I going to have for dinner? Yeah. So I think that's it. I hope that resonates in the liminal space. With Jubilation and Tina Turner. So yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there. Just because because it's been 2 hours. I don't quite know where that time's gone. I'm gonna block that person as well. Thank you guys very much for joining us. It's I don't know how fast it's gone. It's flown by. If this is something you enjoyed on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and a subscribe and stuff like that.
And comment in the box below.
On Facebook, don't share it because I don't want to have to see myself anywhere because it's weird. But if you don't already, if you follow us on either Instagram or Facebook, then we'll pop details up for the next one. I know John's got a couple of YouTube videos that he's planning on doing over the next couple of weeks, and there's a couple more lives that we're looking at doing. I know we said we would do like I think we were calling it a spell along, which is just cheesy, but things that you can do along with us. I said we'll definitely do some more card readings. I might actually think about looking at some of the wax readings, showing people how to do the wax readings in the water and things like that, just the lives. So yeah,
that will be done at the shop because it's messy.
Yeah,
and we don't want it in the house.
And no cat video-ness today. Yes.
I just want to say thank you to our lovely guest, even though you can't see her, Miss Nicola. Your knowledge and your reading has been insightful as always. Thanks to everyone who's joined us on YouTube and Facebook. I do need to add, just as a disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only.
No, we don't add that disclaimer because it is not for entertainment purposes only.
I don't want to be told off by any governing people.
You have free will over what goes on and choice.
This is only a snapshot of your situation. We are helping and advising you on that snapshot because you've taken this snapshot. Everything now could change. So we have done this with the best intentions, and we hope that everyone is leaving here feeling as positive as they can be. We hope you have a lovely evening, and we will see you soon.
You will.
Goodbye. Bye.